Welcome to a very special episode with some very special guests. Why is today special? Other than it's almost Friday. This is Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life, episode number 200. It has been a road, a journey. Hard to believe that this pandemic project, as I call it sometimes, is now in its 200th episode. About 2 months ago, we celebrated 4 years, and now we are at episode 200. So congratulations, all that have been a part of it. From my wife that's made the logo that I'm wearing on the sweatshirt, to my brother-in-law that had the theme song or the intro to the podcast for probably about 100 episodes at least, and then to many of my esteemed guests far and wide, and I have some of them joining me today. So Philly, once again back on the pod. Mike, good to see you. I'm glad you're able to join. Thomas, you're one of our favorites. And then the person that's been on more than anyone, Karen, welcome back to the pod. It's been a minute. So first of all, I don't know if you brought your drink. Let's have a toast.
Crown Royal, baby.
We're drinking the good stuff
damn.
today. LeBron Hennessy, crack the box, brand new box today. I told y'all it was all happening.
You got the LeBron
cracking tonight. Let me tell you. So
you got the lowercase go drink going on?
Yes, lowercase. So a lot has happened. Well, let's do a cheers. Cheers to 200 episodes. Thank you, everyone that has been a part of this. Much love, much appreciated.
Amen. 200 to 200 and 200 more, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers. There were many a times that I thought this podcast would come to a screeching halt. There have been times that there's been a break, but we are on a run right now in season 5. Many of you have been a part of many of the episodes. But again, thank you to everyone that listens, whether you listen and watch on YouTube, whether you follow on my Instagram, or you're on Spotify or Apple or Google, however you consume your podcast. Much love and much appreciated. But this is a sneaker spectacular. This is at the quarter pole of the year. So this was to be the big year of Jordan. It's the 40th year of the brand. So after 3 months, I'd love to hear from each one of you. How has the first 3 months gone? Philly, maybe we'd start with you.
I think it's going well, considering we're seeing, and we kind of chatted about this earlier off the record, but it's crazy to see, like, fights are back, campouts and lineups are back. It's like, and it's so hard to predict. Like, people are fighting over cool gray 9s. People are camping for they call them the flu game still? Is that what the nickname is?
Yeah, flu game 12.
Yeah. The flu game 12s, metallic 5 for some reason have people going crazy, and then you had some pretty high profile drops like the Union 1 and the Brick by Brick, the Nigel Sylvester. So I think all in all, like, the hype has come back a little bit for Jordan Brand, and just the community, like sneakers in general. It feels like there's a little bit of buzz that's like reminiscent of 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. Thomas knows better than anyone probably here, but the 306 Young Days, it kind of feels like that energy around North America specifically is kind of back. Thomas, maybe you can give us your insight on how you feel about the first 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, Philly, he nailed it with kind of like the energy, bringing back a lot of those OGs, helps a lot of people that were in the game before, new people coming in that just want to, get their hands on things that they saw back in the day. It's kind of allowing everyone to come together. I think it's a good kind of, like, we were talking about it earlier a little bit, but, like, we're just seeing good colorways come out. Lots of really good colorways versus previous years, past 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Like, there was good stuff sprinkled in, but there was also a lot, in my opinion, not so good stuff. A lot of stuff that just didn't really deserve to come out. So obviously a lot of pressure on the brand. They came correct this year so far. It's still a huge year to come. Personally, I've only picked up 2 pairs. Fortunately, like, a lot of stuff I feel like I can pass on because the last retro I still have and it's still clean. So I'm like, I still got the 20, flu games. We're talking about white cements earlier. Like, still got those in 2016. Need a re-up, but there's, most of them I'm kind of good with. Cool Grey Nines are still surviving and not crumbling on me from 2012. So like personally, I'm good on a lot of stuff, but exciting to see like other people finally get pairs that they always wanted, and then like you said, bring that energy back. It's just such a good time to kind of be in the community. So yeah.
Karen, I would love to hear from you. What, from a woman's perspective, what is how have the cards been dealt to you in 2025?
The first few months, I mean, the Union ones that dropped, I mean, it's a gorgeous shoe. It's something that I passed on. It wasn't one where I was like, I really wanted it. At the same time, I really wasn't going to sign up for US raffles. For me personally, I find signing up for US raffles, between the shipping, the conversion, plus the duties and taxes and all that other stuff that you have to pay, for me, it just isn't worth it in the long run. But super happy for those who hit and got them. It's a great colorway, and I mean, it's a Union collab, so I mean, you can't go wrong with the quality, the colorway. Me personally, I got the Seafoam 4s that dropped recently. Beautiful shoe. Trying to figure out how to style it. And then randomly I went into Kith and then saw these on the shelf and I was like, I need these.
So you probably have like 4 like that one, but I get your vibe.
Lionel, I don't. Actually, I don't. So those are the only 2 pairs that I've picked up in the first few months of the year. I know there's a lot coming out, but I think that with prices as they are right now, and due to what I currently own, I've been a lot more selective with what I acquire and have just been trying to be more intentional with adding to the collection.
Nope, I feel you. Feel you on that. Mike, give us the 411.
So I have got nothing this year. I've got no shoes. Not because I didn't want them, but like, for example, the flu games from 2016, I bought those. I had to camp. That was my first ever shoe I camped out for. Metallic 5s I bought at Flight Club in New York. They're still tan. They got the aging on them, but I still rock them. In terms of the year, like, I think it's good. Like, I think me and you, Lionel, we spoke about this like last year. Like, I think it's a good year for sneaker collectors because, to Thomas's point, I think for people who, let's say, are just getting into it, who kind of want to get into it, and this is like the year to do it because there's so much good stuff coming out. I'm glad that again, Thomas, I'm glad they said this. Like, people can actually go and get pairs that they want, or like there's like, for example, they're releasing the undefeated 4s, and that was like a grail to a lot of people. That a lot of people couldn't get that shoe, and now they're releasing it to the public. I know some weirdos on the internet were like, "Oh, why are they releasing those? Those should be a grail." It's like, no, let people get the shoe. Like, what are we hoarding this shoe for? Like, only a select few? Like, that's just dumb to me, So, for me, in terms of what I want to get, hopefully tomorrow I'll get the Lucky Shore 3s. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
There's lots out there. Don't sweat that one.
No, I mean, I'm just, I want to just go to the store and get it. I'm not trying to order it online, but if I can get it, I'll order it regardless. But like, similar to Karen, I'm being a little bit more selective because when I saw what was coming out last year, I was like, oh, I got to get this. I got to get this. And then I'm looking at my budget. I'm like, nah, I need to probably chill the hell out. Plus, I got a lot. I'm at like 77 pairs right now, so I'm not like hurting for shoes. I think like after this year, I think my collection, I'm pretty much got everything I wanted. So after next year, it's like I might get, like, the shoe has to be like fire for me to buy. I can't just buy just based off of hype. But to Philly's point, I mean, what's weird to me is all the fighting that's come about now. Like, that's just bizarre to me now, and I'm sure we're going to discuss that more in length, but I just think that's weird. But overall, I mean, I think it's going to be a good year. I know we're like in the quarter point, but I think it's going to be a good year in terms of what's coming out. I mean, hopefully I can get the white cement 4s. That'd be dope because my pair is thrashed all to hell. So, and, all the other joints that are coming out that I want to get. So, I think it's going to be a good year overall for sneakers. And so far, I think it's been a good year overall.
Yeah, I think a lot of you have already said, a couple of the points that I would make is the people that needed to get these shoes, for the most part, have gotten these shoes. And we're talking Black Hat 3s, we're talking Metallic 5s, we're talking flu games. Geez, I can't even believe people wanted Cool Grey 9s. That's the one that literally has me baffled. That shoe to me has sentimental value. I still have my pair. my good friend Jeremy Mills, he got married in that shoe, Thomas. If you didn't know, we wore that. His brother, me, and his other friend, we wore tuxedos. The gray on gray was the two grays in the shoe.
That's
So that
funny.
one had sentimental value, but I can't believe people fought over this 2 weeks ago. Like, it
Bro,
is
like nines have always sat on shelves or not been like a shoe that's been popping. So why? Like, I'm just confused why people are fighting over that shoe.
So can you imagine if this was Space Jam 9? Like,
Oh,
that
Lord.
shoe is far more
Biggest
significant
shot.
than Cool Gray. So, but I think, there have been some surprises. I think we talked about it like literally 3 months ago when we talked about what is this year going to look like. And sure enough, there was a tier system to some of the shoes. We saw Band or Bread, depending what you want to say, one came out, and it was available in 23 stores in North America, and people were furious that it was not available. So that was one a lot of people didn't get. Some people pulled some strings, were able to get it. Other people resale. Other people didn't get 2016. I don't know how you didn't get it. If you really wanted it, you could have got it. Now that shoe is like $1,500, and you can spend $800 now Canadian on the one that just launched this year. Then there's some of the others. Brick by Brick was out in way more stores, just not the majors. All the independents, every single one had it. It was an easier one than most to get. Union, very hard to get. I said that, I literally crossed that on the list. It's like people that want it are just not getting it unless they get it resale. Like, I don't know one person, I think I know one person that actually won a raffle and got the shoe. My friend that lives in, my friend Dudley, who lives in Dallas. He's from Toronto via Chicago. Somehow he had three devices going, 3 different accounts. Was able to hit on one, and he scored a bird. He's like the only one. So
Wow.
these upper echelon shoes, that's what's going to happen. And we talked about, someone already mentioned the Undefeated 4. Wait for the tier system for that. It's going to be 23 stores or 32 stores, and that's that. Like, they're just not going to put that in mass market. Now, they could and mess up the game, but I can see that they're going to pull the strings like they're playing with some type of doll here. It's going to be one of those things this year that this law of supply and demand and Sneakernomics 101 that I love to teach this class anytime anyone wants to listen. There is going to be far less supply than the giant demand for those shoes, and people want this as a grail. People aren't going to get it. That's just going to be, people don't know now. They just see it on a calendar that it's going to be available. When they release these select stores that are going to have it, it is going to be below tier 0. It's going to be like -1. And these handful of stores will get it, and people will be upset. And some of these stores, we already know it's through the back door already. Like that, those pairs are already sold.
Yeah,
you ain't getting nothing. Not going to say any names because I know people at certain stores that sometimes listen to this podcast, and when I call them out, they don't like me. They have choice words to say about me, but it is what it is. just putting it out there, putting it out. This is podcast 101. We keeping it 100 every single episode, 200 episodes deep.
You didn't tell no lies though, so you ain't lying. You ain't lying. So
telling it like it is. Telling it like it is. So, could you give us one shoe that you kind of wanted, or you really wanted, and it got away from you this year? Anyone can go first. We can go in reverse order. Mike, you can go first.
Oh, God. You know what? I was on the fence about getting the metallic 5s, only because in 2016 when I bought them, I actually put white laces in the shoes because I had watched the podcast with Jumpman Bostic where he talked about why he put the white laces in the metallic 5s because of Michael Jordan. And when he played that game in Milwaukee, and he was talking about kind of going to work, and I just liked how it looked and the accent of the shoe. So I was thinking about getting that again, but I didn't pull the trigger. And it's just funny because I remember when I wore the white laces in 2016 and people thought I lost my mind. They were looking at me like I was crazy for putting white laces in the metallic 5s. Like they were like doing double takes, giving me dirty looks. Like I was at Eaton Center and someone was looking like mean mugging me, looking at me crazy. I'm like, what are you doing?
Was me.
It might have been you. You might have been hating on my ass. But no, I was thinking about, should I get him because it's kind of tan? But that was one. I mean, if I could maybe get again, I would try to get those maybe. But so far, that's the only one I can think of right now. Because like my flu games are still clean, so I'm good with those.
Okay. Karen?
I mean, like I said earlier, I've just been trying to be more intentional. So admiration, absolutely. I admire the release calendar. I admire what's coming out. However, there has to be a certain like immediate, ooh, I need these for me to actually try to like go after them. And it was mainly just me looking at the release calendars being like, they're nice. I wish luck for everybody else, but I'm going to sit this out for now.
All right.
I think the Seafoam 4s were the ones where I was like, I would really like them. If I get them, great. If I don't, then I'm not going to sit and cry about it. But being able to actually get them now, I'm super happy.
Well, I do recall there was a shoe that you decided to pass on. And you have
There
yet
was
to
I
mention.
can't remember which one it was, but I did pass
I
on it.
believe it was the Valentine's Day 3.
Oh, the Valentine's Day 3s. Yeah, I did. I think they have a few pink 3s.
Fair enough.
But they were nice. They were great. You know what it is? I think it was like the price point. It's the price point where I get stuck on, where I'm like, you
Why?
want me
Because
to
it's
pay
not a kid shoe. It's not less than
because
$200.
it's
That was a
Right?
full $280.
$280, $290.
Yeah, with all the bells and whistles that went with it.
Yeah.
Man, women
It's
are
been
lucky, boy.
it's
Y'all are
been hard to, in my mind, trying to justify almost $300
Yeah.
for a pair of shoes.
It's a
I mean,
man's
that's not a
world.
problem for
It's been
me. I
like
mean,
that
me,
for a
like I said,
very
I
long
paid
time.
$300 like it's
It's
nothing.
been that no, and here's the thing, like it's been that way for a while now, but lately it's just been getting tougher to swallow that pill where I'm like, I can't. I can't.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
the Chicago Jordan 1 in
Yep.
2013 was $165.
It was.
Now, why did you have to go do that, Lionel?
I'm just telling the
I
facts. This
remember
is
those
what we
days.
do.
Yeah.
I know those
When
were
The
great
I
days.
drink
days
Hennessy,
Go
when
in a
just
time
tell the
machine like
facts.
the '85 DeLorean.
Yeah. And that was a time you could still pick stuff up. Like I
Yo, you
Right.
can get two
remember,
Jordans if you want. You can get two
yeah,
Jordans for the price of one in some cases. You can
like
get out there now.
Yep.
Shoot.
and you could find stuff on shelves. I remember I found, sorry, not to hijack this, but I found Shadow ones, a size 10 my size on shelf, like months after release for
Crazy.
165. Yeah, that same time period, Lionel. So it's
Yep.
crazy.
Okay, Philly, what you got?
Is Thomas? No, did Thomas go yet? I think.
That's right. You went first. Thomas, you're up.
No, it's been covered already. You guys did a good job. I mean, it's like Mike already, said it. A lot of these pairs, you've already had in the past at some point, or you already have not in past tense. You have them and they're in good condition. So when I saw it was coming out, I was like, super hype year, amazing year for people that are like really into OG stuff and just appreciate the brand. Not just Jordan brand. There's been some good Nike stuff too and other brands. But to me, I was kind of like, it'd be nice if I kind of cleaned up a few of my pairs and got a fresh pair, but I don't need it. And if I don't get it, I'm good with it. Life goes on. In terms of something that I was like, I need that though. There hasn't been anything really. I'm trying to think of something more on like the Nike side than anything. And most of my collection is Jordan, but like I'm just trying to think of like what came out that I missed. And I think did you get those up tempo 95s? I know you did, Lionel. I haven't seen any posts on it, but
That is the greatest. If you guys don't know, I will tell the cows forever that
good
is
shoe.
the greatest basketball shoe that is not a Jordan ever.
You're talking about the one with the air on the side?
No. That's its ugly brother.
Oh,
The shoe that I'm talking about is the year before.
Yeah.
So this shoe white,
Look this up.
black, mystic blue.
Little
It
teal.
came out in
You said up
95.
tempo 95s.
Kevin Garnett wore it. Kobe Bryant wore it in high school.
Oh, you're talking about
We're
those
talking
ones that Kevin Durant wore.
Miles Simon and
I know.
Mike
Okay, I know which
Bibby
ones you're talking
both
about.
wore it at Arizona.
Yeah, I know which ones. I know which ones you're talking about.
Iverson actually wore it at one point.
And
Ray
Georgetown, yeah, I
Allen wore it
remember.
at one point. So every major high school that was high school and college / university that was a night at one point they wore the shoe during the season. Then they started coloring it up for the NBA. Scottie Pippen wore it. This is before he was wearing the one with
Yeah,
the
he was wearing the white, black, and red one, right?
more up tempo. It's the best bath. Like literally, it fits like a glove. I could buy like 8 more. If I only buy one shoe for the rest of my life, it might be that one.
Hot take. I like
That's
that.
a hot take. That's a spicy take right there.
That is,
Okay.
and that's an OG take. That's what it is.
That's a spicy. That's like some hot sauce. That's some Frank's Red Hot sauce take right there.
Like I will tell you, not many people would have the Air Max Up Tempo 95 in like 5 or 6 colors. I would be one of them.
Yeah.
Because I swear by this shoe.
Did you get the white and red one too? I think that came out as well.
Oh yeah. No, that one that hasn't released yet, but I have like a fresh pair from I don't know, 2000 when it came out. Foot Action Days, it was like 2017 or 18 is when it came out. There was the Kobe one, the white yellow one. Skip that one. Wish I didn't.
Oh yes, I did remember those ones.
And there was the patent leather black one with like the Volt. Skip that one. Wish I didn't. I wish I had all of them now, but I didn't buy it. And some of them were cheap. Some of them were. I remember looking at it on an employee appreciation, and they were 25 off. And then it was going to be 50. And it's like, I said, nah, I don't need it.
You slept.
I've done that before.
My retrospective life, I said, damn, I did need that shoe. And I don't need any shoes. I don't need another shoe for the rest of my life. I have shoes for 8 lifetimes. But in my heart of hearts, I tell myself I needed that shoe and I should have bought it. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. What is one shoe you gotta have this year? Based on after everything that's already launched, I know some of the shoes that you really think you had to have already have come out, but what's in the future? Philly, I know you kind of talked about a couple that were on your radar. Has your mind changed? Which is the one you gotta have this year?
It was like I didn't get the original Shatter backboards. Was it 10 years ago?
Yep.
So the Shatter backboard one is I guess if I had to pick one, it would say that. But I really like the What the Kobe. Is it the What the Kobe 5 that's coming out in July or June?
What the Kobe 8?
The 8.
What the Kobe 8? Sorry, it's the 8. I'm sorry. Yeah. But I wanna hoop in those. Like I wanna play in those. So it's two different functions for me. Like one casual and one to hoop in. But yeah, that's what I'm bouncing. It's either one of those two or my must have for the next little while. Yeah.
Thomas?
Yeah, Philly said it. I want those What the Kobe's as well. Never had those. 8's one of my favorite, Kobe's. Actually, the hoop in, which is also a hot take. I think most people don't like the 8's necessarily. I prefer the. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you prefer to hoop in. I like the 8, so I hoop in the Halos every week. That's a good shoe. But in terms of like a day-to-day wear, it's gonna probably just be the white cement 4s. Like, there's so much good stuff. Like Aqua 8s. I mean, I got those. Flu games have them. What else? There's so much stuff coming out. But it's like I look through the list. I'm like, kind of like I said, I have most of them. Don't need to get another pair. It's just extra consumption. White cement 4s I have, but they don't look good. I think Mike said it. Pairs look the same. They just messed up. So.
Every single person in Toronto has the white cement 4. They all look jacked. Anyone that has a clean pair, kudos, bro. They didn't wear them. They wore them once.
Yeah, and for the summer, like, a clean white pair for the summer, like white cement 4s, like can't go wrong. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I really want those. I want to get those back.
Okay, Karen, what's the one you gotta have?
There's a women's release coming out in April, first week of April. It's a Jordan 1 High, the cinnamon colorway. It's coming out in two. There's a cinnamon and a blue, but the cinnamon one is the one that I want.
Okay.
I will get that one. It's on my calendar. It's marked.
It's locked in.
It's locked in. I will spend the $235 on that.
Oh,
As I just gave you the lesson that they used to be $165, but you got to get what you like. You got to get what you like. That's what it is.
Well, you do. Exactly.
buy what you like.
Buy what you like.
Okay,
For
Mike?
me, Taxi 12s. Taxi 12s. I've been
That's a good one.
waiting for the Taxi 12s forever. I mean, I have the flu games, I have the playoffs, and I have the cherry 12s. I just need the taxis. I don't care about the obsidians. I really just want the Taxi 12s. I think that's my favorite 12. So I think when I saw that they were releasing last year, I was like, I am getting those. I don't care if I got to go through Flight Club, whatever. That is a shoe that I am getting regardless, because I've wanted that shoe forever. And mainly too, because I'm a sneakerhead where I like to wear shoes that I could kind of wear with anything, and I like certain shoes that I can wear with anything. And the Taxi 12s, I mean, you can wear that pretty much with anything. So hands down for me is the Taxi 12s. I mean, out of everything, like the white, to Thomas's point, I definitely want the white cement 4s, so I can just kind of keep them on ice a little bit. But yeah, the Taxi 12s hands down for me.
Okay. For me, I don't know if there is one.
Mm.
Because the one specific shoe that I probably would say would be the most coveted one, because it's my favorite Air Max, is the Air Max 95 OG. That's going to come out. Now, the word is on the street that this is going to be released, just like it was in 95 and 96. It's going to be released twice. So there is going to be a very limited release in 95. It will in 2025. It will disappear. People will be upset. They won't get it. And then there's going to be this wider release that will happen in 2026. Now, be honest with you, every release that this shoe has come out, I probably have bought a pair. So it's by far, it's my favorite shoe that's launching this year, but I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm not buying it. My daughter's wearing a pair. I've had a pair explode going to a Nike party, and I still have pairs. So is there one I have to have? People are talking about the Jordan 4 SB. It ain't the green one. The green one is far better than the other one. The red one, blue one, no thanks.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, and I would tell you that, ask me 3 months from now, something else will come out that I will say is the best shoe, but right now is the Neon 95 is the best shoe that I think will come out this year. There's a lot of good stuff. I'm very excited to see how people will react to actually being able to get the Gamma, because the Gamma 11 was so hated on when it released. 6 months later, people were so upset they did not have it as part of their collection. It sat
I
on
felt that way about the Gamma
shelves
12s
for a week, and people didn't buy this thing. Not as bad as what we have with the Legend 11, because people just didn't want that shoe, not at that price. But people are now buying because it's on sale. But the Gamma was full price. People had multiple chances to buy this thing in all sizes and said they didn't want it. We've had lineups for in retail for Concords. We've had lineups for obviously breads. We've had lineups for the Space Jam. We've had lineups for literally every other 11, even if it's a new makeup color. Win like 96, win like 82. Those sold out same day. But this one that we're talking about right now, people did not want anything to do with the Gamma at all until it sold out. And then, oh my God, what did I do? How did I not buy this one? And then Toronto mans love black shoes. Walk around, everyone will say, how did you get those? How much are they? I'll buy those from you. And it's like, hell no. Hell to the no. So that is one I'm so interested to see what that launch looks like. Sorry, Karen, go ahead.
No, sorry. I feel like it's that law of once it's available, no one wants it.
That part, I was going to say the same thing.
Once it's gone, it's like everybody wants it. It's like, Oh my
It's like a
God, how
bad
do I
girl. It's
get?
like a bad spouse. Like it's a spouse that's a bad person, and you know that they're bad, and they're you know what I mean, and they're unattainable. Nah, this is real stuff, man. When they're unattainable, you don't want. You're like, oh, I kind of want that person, but when they're available, you don't want it.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's.
Great
I was thinking the
analogy.
exact same thing. That's all this
Great
stuff is.
analogy.
Oh, Karen, that one cut
Because I
deep.
guarantee you,
That
Lionel,
cut
to your
deep.
point, if they put out if the Gamma 11s were readily accessible and everybody could get it, they would sit.
Exactly.
They
And
would
I
sit.
find that, and I find that happens a lot with any release, right? Like if a shoe sits, nobody wants it. But the minute it sells and it sells out, that's when everyone's like, "Oh, well, what did I miss out on?" It's that cool kid where it's like,
Yep.
well, because they made it cool, everybody wants to jump on that train now.
Yeah, perfect example, the UNC 3s when I bought those in 2020. They were a limited release. They only released them
Exactly.
at the Jordan store and Foot Locker. I didn't
Yeah.
even know this. And there was only like 20 something pairs, and
Yeah.
everyone was hyping them up. I posted them on my Facebook. I got like 1,000 likes on that shoe. 1,000. I never got 1,000 likes on anything in my life, and that's only because that shoe was rare.
Exactly.
It's not because it was high. I mean, it's a great shoe. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It ain't. It's not worth 1,000 likes on a Facebook post.
Mm-hmm.
But that was also the era when anything UNC blue, because UNC 1, UNC 4, anything that was UNC in like 2018 to 2021 was
That's
gold.
true.
Like, why was the UNC dunk like the best dunk of the last 5 years? Because it was the only UNC. When that came out, it was like, I have to have it. Everyone said, I gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it. And it sold out instantly. People were paying 2 and 3 times for a basic UNC dunk.
Crazy.
It was madness.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's flip topics for a second because it's already been touched on. You guys touched on it when I had no sound. I know you guys were all talking about it. You guys talked about it in the onset. Yes, we had mad technical difficulties, but the hot topic today has to be, good Lord, why is there so much violence now at these sneaker releases? And why are people robbing trains? Like, I don't get it. For those that don't know, we'll give you a little insight. So at least 3 significant releases: Black Cat, Metallics, actually it's 4, Flu Game 12s, and now the most recent is the Cool Gray 9s, where there actually was some violence in the US, where a guy beat up an employee that worked at a store. The employee was armed. The employee turned to defend himself, shot the man dead. Like, and that is
Crazy.
sad as that is. Why have we got to the point of fighting people during releases? People are fighting one another. There's been incidents of people being stabbed before. There's all the talk about what's happened over the years in Toronto, in Chicago, in LA. People had weapons pulled on them. People have had their shoes jacked after they bought them. Like, it's crazy. And then flip it. We're like, forget about robbing the customers in the line. We're now just going to the source. We're finding out what train things are on. Because we had brick by brick 4s.
Wow.
Thousands of pairs stolen. Apparently Black Cats were stolen this week off a train. And if people are figuring these things out, there's only more trains to come with all these hot, amazing Jordans that are on it. They're all sought after, that people are fighting for in the streets. People are just robbing the train. So would love to hear from anyone and all of y'all. Why the hell is this happening? And is this really a good thing?
Because people are asses. That's the simplest reason I can give. But I mean, this was always a thing, but then it kind of got to a point where I don't know. I think just maybe the supply and the demand piece, there might be that piece. I think, listen, we're in a tough economy, so some people can't get shoes the way they could before. Maybe there's that reasoning. I honestly, I don't get it, because we're in a time now, to your point, Lionel, where you can get a shoe anywhere, bro. There's so many apps that you can get a shoe. I don't understand, especially in Toronto, where there's like damn near downtown Toronto has like 5 shoe stores within like 2 blocks of each other. So you fighting somebody over a pair of shoes is nuts. Like, I'm at a point, I'm not even camping out no more for no shoe. I'll order it on the app and then go and pick up the shoe or have them delivered to my house, because I had to deal with foolishness when I was telling before you came on, like when I was lined up for the threes, some random dude came up to me. He's like, "Yo, bro, like just so you know, there's like this dude with no shirt walking around Toronto. He's threatening to beat up women." I'm like, "Okay." He said, "Yeah, if you see him, call the cops." I'm like, "I ain't doing all that. I'm just lining up for a shoe." And then the dude with no shirt comes up to me like 5 minutes later, asking me for a shirt and asking me for money. And I said, "Dude, get the hell away from me. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I'm trying to get a pair of shoes, and I got to deal with that foolishness. I'm gonna stay home." So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. I just think people lost their damn minds because it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if anyone else has a different take on it, but I just think people are asses right now, and they're just being more assholish now. So
Yeah, I mean, it feels like to me it's like the evolution of, I don't want to say society, but it's just like back in the day in the 90s, and I was too young to remember when I wasn't outside when this was happening, but like you would have people robbing, like, give me your shoes. Like you rob
yep.
someone one to one for their shoes, right? Take them right off their feet, right? And then more recently, like let's say the last 10, 15 years, you have people like, okay, they've upped the robbing to like, okay, I'm gonna like drive my car through a store window when they're closed and then get in that way, or gonna go to the vents or go to, you know what I mean, like the more, instead of one person, I'm robbing the whole store now. So then now it's like 2024, 25 is like, no, we're gonna find out, we're gonna get the manifest, we're gonna see, we know the Nike, we know Nike ships out of Memphis, we're gonna see where the train's coming from, we're gonna see where it's going, we know we know what shoes on there, we know what cart to go. Like it's very like, it's like the evolution of like, they're gonna be robbing like maybe Oregon in like 10 years, like straight at Nike HQ or something. But
Don't be
um,
surprised. And it'll
right,
be an inside job when it happens.
It it kind of
yeah.
feels like they watched Ocean's 11 one too many times.
Yeah. And that's always what it is, right? It's like criminals just get, I don't know if smarter is too complimentary, but it's like they just keep upping the game because they have to, right? Like you
They
can't
have
use the
to.
same, right? It can't be this. I'll end it on this. Like I think when they robbed the train, and I'm not condoning it, but when they robbed the train for like the Nigel Sylvester brick by brick, I get it because like that's a hot shoe and it's gonna resell. But for the Black Cat 4s, I don't know. I think they might return those because I don't think those are gonna resell, to be honest. But we'll see, right?
They'll resell in Toronto. We like black shoes.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely
Yeah.
resell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thomas, Karen, any takes?
Go ahead, Karen.
It's almost like robbing of trains, FedEx trucks, like UPS, like however they're, even as far as the people running into the Nike stores, stealing all the stuff and then running out, right? That was a huge issue at one point.
Still is.
And it still is a problem. It's almost, it almost feels like society, I think, Mike, you had brought this up, like society has come to a point where this is what people need to do to somewhat survive a little bit, and I'm not condoning the stealing or the violence or any of that, but like it's almost like to be a part of something or to garner or acquire whatever, said shoe or article of clothing, and it's like this is the only way that some people feel like this is the only way they can do it, and then somehow make a living by selling their hot product.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I'll jump in. No, you guys all kind of covered it. To me, it's kind of like, if you take it back to Philly's whole point, like jacking people for shoes is not a new thing. You guys have probably been around a little longer than I. Like I wasn't around the '90s when kids were getting their shoes jacked. I was like 10 years old or whatever. But that's not a new thing. But people were doing it so they could wear it and get fresh and look fly, right? That was what it is.
Yeah.
Later, now it's like, I'm gonna steal shoes, not because I'm gonna lace up all of my friends and homies and we're all gonna wear them. No, we're gonna sell them now. So now there's this dollar attached to all these shoes. I mean, back in the day, I remember like I was on Nike Talk forums and stuff. It'd be crazy to be selling my shoes for more than retail, even by a little bit. Most people just be like, you're either gonna sell them for retail or a little below or whatever. There wasn't this whole resale game, which we all
Mm-hmm.
understand. Now it's all
Yeah.
changed. Now it's like, oh, shoes? It could be shoes, it could be Apple computers, it could be anything, but I can make money now. And then so where we're at in the economy is like, if you look at it, like, what is it, Jeff Bezos or whatever, this guy's making like how much a minute? Like more than all of us making like a year or something? I don't know, something like that, right?
Yep.
These,
Yeah.
we've never seen that
Great
before.
point.
So now we got these two sides of the spectrum where like we have these people making insane amounts of money that you could just we can't even possibly fathom. And then on the other side, people getting like no money at all. And there's anger, there's issues in the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Why some people sit back and just watch this all happen? No, I'm just gonna go and just get it myself. So there's that mentality too. So it's like I see that all of these things kind of intersecting, and sneakers are like a very popular commodity to move quickly, especially with anonymous websites that you can just move stuff, get your money, rinse, repeat. You know, there's trains now. I mean, it's just like you guys said. It could be to me. It could be anything. I'm sure trains are getting jacked for sneakers, but I'm sure they're also getting jacked for like Dyson vacuums or something. You know, other things. Like I think we just may not hear about it. So I think it's a situation where like people are just trying to get money right now, and it's tough. Like what the economy's tough right now, right, for everyone. So again, not to glorify or justify it, but that's my explanation as to.
No, I don't think anybody's justifying it. I just think I mean, like I said, I used to live in the States, and I remember in DC, like if you went to a certain part of DC at late at night wearing some Jordans, you were not, unless you were that dude or you knew somebody there, you weren't walking home with those shoes. You were probably losing your life out there, right? And there was that piece, but that was more because these people were trying to stunt in the ghetto and trying to be fly and, oh, I'm in the ghetto in the hood and I could walk around in Jordans, ain't nobody do nothing to me. That was that aspect. Now it's just, it could be anybody now. It's probably like people that probably would never do a crime in their life or steal anything in their life, but hey, I can steal some shoes and flip them. Why not? Why would I want to go to the store and spend money on them? I can just go steal them from somebody and flip them. I just think it's just wild to me because I think with the cool grade nines, I mean, I saw some dude get jumped. Like there was like 5 dudes just beating on a dude for some cool grade nines, and I'm just like, because to your point, Lionel, like these are just random. It's the thing is just like kind of like random releases, and I mean this. We're not even halfway through the year, bro, and all these releases. So I'm scared for like the white cement fours. I don't even want to go outside because if they're doing that for the cool grade nines, can you imagine if let's say they put a limited release on the white cement fours and people can't get them?
Yeah,
man, it'll be like World War III outside. I'm not going. I'm gonna stay my ass at home if this is how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of scary. Like I remember watching. I think it was oh my god, this guy Jack Slade or whatever. He's like a sneaker reviewer, and he was talking about how like he wanted to get rid of campouts, and I didn't agree with that at first because I thought it was like no, like make it so people can get them easier. But then when he kind of broke it down, I was like, nah, that makes sense because some people are scared. Like, you know, some people have their kids out there and all that, and you got to deal with that. Like, it's scary out there, right? So I don't know. Hopefully people can get some sense, but with the way this year's going, it doesn't look like it. And with the releases coming out now, I just feel it's going to probably get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, because it's a complicated matter. And the reality is like campouts are good for energy of the sneaker community. People are out in the streets. They want the shoe. People, random strangers walk by. Why are you guys outside? What do you guys want? You're out because you want a shoe. It's like, wow, shoe means this much? Sneakers must mean something. So like to the average people, this is a good thing. To the sneakerhead that they can stand in line, they don't have to fight a bot. And I think technology and many other pieces outside the economy has really changed how people consume sneakers. And to eliminate campouts, I don't know. Like people say it's not safe, but to think about where we were 3 and 4 years ago, where you couldn't camp out, and you had to buy them online because it was the only way. Nightmare. And this is why Nike shifted gears and say, "Oh, we're going direct to consumer. Why do we need retail stores? We'll just sell them all ourselves." And they saw their sales climb without having to ship things out and da 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 da. But there was such a backlog of demand, it really upset people that actually wanted the shoe. People bought them because it became, again, going back to Sneakernomics 101, people was able to capture all of the supply. So they held the supply. The shoe was in demand. Parents, people that are just hearing it and seeing it and looking it on TikTok and Instagram because the shoe was not available in the store. They go to a store after standing in line 6 feet apart, Go in the shoe. What do you mean the shoe's not available? It just came out. No, it was bought. It was bought all online yesterday, or it hasn't delivered to the store. We have no idea when it's going to get. So it created this whole chaos of, well, how we have to buy the shoes. Now we got to buy it from some reseller. And hey, that is part of the game, and it's always been part of the game. That is just the reality of people have resold shoes for various reasons. But the fact that here we are in this world, and there's so many different ways now to consume shoes, it has changed the landscape for where it was. Like, I actually was, while Thomas was speaking, pulled up an article, and I remember I bought this Sports Illustrated. You probably can't see it very well. This is from 1990. It says, the title is Your Shoes or Your Life. Someone is holding a pair of white metallic fives and a gun. And it's crazy that in 1990, they were allowed to put a gun on the cover of a magazine. But
what's the shoe that was on there?
The Fire Red Fives is the one that's on the cover of this. And there's a whole article. I remember buying this in grade 11 when I first figured out that Jordans really meant something. A friend of mine had bought the Jordan 4s the year before, and then someone else in my grade got the Jordan 5s. He was the first one. We were all wearing Air Max cross trainers at that point, and he was the one that came to school with Air Jordans because he got his parents to buy. So, but then this article came out about people would line up overnight to buy shoes, and they would get stuck up for their shoe. And it was like, that's crazy. This is 16-year-old Lionel hearing this story for the first time. And now where we are, we're still in that era. If you can believe, it just looks a lot different. Yeah, people now drive cars through front windows. There's organized stings where there's 35 people all with masks on, run into a store and clean out a Nike store. Retail theft is at an all-time high. But again, social economics, where we are in the world, how people consume things is totally different. But it is totally changing the dynamics of why people are doing what they do to consume sneakers at this genre. Sometimes people are doing it because they can, and some people are organized because they're now running a business. And before, 35 years ago, when this article was written, that wasn't a thing. That wasn't part of business. That was street cred. That was just being in the streets. I need to be the flyest guy on the block, so I had to get the shoe. And if I didn't get it in line, I'm taking it from someone. Now people are doing this as part of a business. They're robbing things. Why do you think the most valuable thing currently, it's like currency, is for people to come into retail stores and steal tech fleece? Because they can flip it for $20 left, $30 left. They don't have to buy it from a retail store, and people will buy it hand over fist because so many people in the world have told them this is a commodity that you must have as part of your wardrobe. So
is tech fleece reselling now? Is that a thing?
It's been reselling for years. That's why people feel it.
That's crazy.
So let me give you the other phenomenon that came out this year at holiday. So the other phenomenon was, again, Sneakernomics 101, but we're going to talk about an accessory. So someone figured out that if they bought all of the Nike Crew socks that were out there, and Foot Locker had them on sale, buy one, get one half. If they bought them all, they could then sell them on Kijiji, on eBay, and any other site for more than retail. And people would buy them. People went into retail stores because guess what? They figured out this. So many influencers have said this. If you own one pair of socks, it needs to be white Nike Crew socks. It was on TikTok. It was on Instagram. People believed that this is what they needed. They put this on their Christmas list. They told their parents. Parents came to the store. Foot Locker didn't have it. Champs didn't have it. JD Sports didn't have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Where are they? They're sitting in some reseller's basement. What are they selling them for? Are you ready for this? They're selling them for $65 a bag.
I would slap, bro. I'm not gonna front.
No.
I would slap the
I kid you not.
out of anybody.
$65, and they're making hand over fist in straight cash in their bank account.
Listen, I'm gonna say straight up, anybody who sells stock for $6, I would slap the turkey shit.
No.
You might get a
You come at me
deal.
and say
It
you're
might be 45.
$65 for what?
45
For
for
a pair
6
of
pairs of
socks? It's
socks.
one pair of socks, $65.
The
One
bag.
pair of socks.
Pack of 6. Pack of
Bag.
6.
I'm slapping the turkey shit
No.
out of them, bro.
No.
Promise you.
No.
But you're all shaking your heads, but parents were buying them during the
Those parents
holidays.
need to be slapped.
And when I
Real
showed them,
shit.
it's
You would
like,
have lost your
I
mind.
told them, don't do it. Wait till we get restocked. And it's like, why? Like, what do you mean don't do it? And it's like, you guys don't have any. And it's like, do you know how much those socks cost? They're $32 for 6, and we sell the second one at half. So you're gonna
Yep.
pay $45 to $60 per 6-pack of socks. Have you lost your mind?
And these are these are just white Nike socks.
White crew socks, right?
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, I'm gonna say them
I would have
joints. You know which
slapped those
joints I'm
parents,
talking
bro.
about.
You're
Them
good. Because
joints.
me, I'd have looked at them like, what are you doing, bro? Are you dumb? Parents are out of their
Oh
mind,
boy,
yo.
I tell you, it is
It
absolutely
reminds me
crazy.
of back in the day when like when Cabbage Patch Kid dolls
Yeah.
first came out and parents were fighting each other for these
Tickle
dolls.
Me Elmo.
The Tickle Me Elmo.
Tickle Me Elmo. I was in New York. People were fighting in the malls over that damn Tickle Me
Yes,
Elmo. It
for
was
that
like people
toy.
were going
Yep.
crazy off that shit.
Yep.
But there's
And
always
this is what
there's
parents
always
are
a
now
thing.
going crazy over for socks.
Yeah, there's always a thing. Cabbage
Always a
Patch
thing.
Dolls, Tickle Me Elmo.
Baby,
Let's
baby.
go. Coleco, if you're that old.
I mean, recently
Nintendo,
PS5. I mean, shit.
PS5, most
Yeah.
recently. People,
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw one
this
of my friends
Christmas
told
were
me that he
fighting over
saw a
the
video.
Aaliyah Barbie.
Oh yeah, one of my friends said he saw a video of someone selling a fake PS5. They put was it an air fryer in the PS5 box and sold that and gave the person bought it. They opened it up as an air fryer. Man, I would have, bro. They spent $1,500 on that PS5 too. It wasn't like they spent $1,500 on the air fryer.
I like the one where I don't know I don't know what country's, probably from the States, but somebody bought a PS5 allegedly, but it was just a box with like a old PS2 and old PS3 like taped together.
I saw that actually. Yo,
You bought a PS5.
Yeah.
technically it was. They didn't lie. It was a
Technically, it was a
PS5.
5.
It
Yeah.
was a
Wow.
5.
Yeah.
I would have
Wow,
still been
wow,
mad.
wow. All right,
Oh, boy.
couple topics to bring us home. So it's very interesting. Obviously, we knew that Nike and Jordan would take the energy. So what are your thoughts about what the other brands are doing?
I can go. I
Yeah.
like what Puma's doing with the Mellow, like with those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones. Those I actually like. I almost pulled the trigger. I was like, nah. I didn't like the mismatch, so I couldn't. I was like, nah, man. I didn't like the mismatch, but I like what they're doing with Mellows on that whole like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line. I like and just in Mellows in general. I like what they're doing. Obviously, everybody wears New Balances now because that's a thing apparently. But I mean, with Puma, I do like the Mellow line. I think that's my third or second favorite line right now in terms of what they put out.
Any other takes?
Adidas has got some really good stuff coming out. Like the oh god, I can't remember. They've got one coming out shortly. I got Undefeated on the brain, and it's not Undefeated.
Collab.
It's the pink ones.
Is it a Samba? Is it
No.
the Taekwondo? Is it
No. They came out with the Grandma's Couch last year. Anyhow, Adidas has got some really good stuff coming out. And honestly, I do enjoy going into their stores and just seeing what's on their shelves. I feel like their colorways are amazing. The silhouettes are great. You know, whether it's the Gazelle, the Sambas. Although I'm kind of over Sambas because I know it was the shoe last year, the silhouette for them last year.
Yeah, just total overkill.
Overkill last year, but like, give me a classic Stan Smith, honestly. Like, those are great. You can never go wrong with a Stan Smith, honestly.
It's some interesting things that Adidas has done. Like they literally pulled in Q4, pulled
Yep.
the Adidas Superstar off the market and have reintroduced it, both in like
Yeah.
an elevated one and then
Yep.
a regular one.
Yeah.
Couple other things that they've done. We're still waiting on AE2. That I
Like
think
the
that sucked the
yeah.
life out of AE1. Like there's at this point there's just too many. And then some of the fashion things, Handball Special has been very good.
Mm-hmm.
Continue to make new colors and new models and
Yep.
continue to add textures to that shoe. It's kind of like the continuation of the line of where they finished off with Samba. Samba's not done to them. It just will never
No,
be
and
the same thing as it was last year.
yeah.
And then I think the other thing is, Adidas is still doing some really good things on their basketball line. The Harden
Mm-hmm.
shoe is arguably
Yeah.
one of the three best on court basketball shoes that there is.
Same here.
AE1's definitely
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards.
So there's still lots of good things that AE is doing. Overall when we talk about Adidas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can piggyback off that because I was gonna say like the brands that I'm talking about, because you're talking about non-Nike, non-Jordan, like the brands that I think are doing, the other brands that are doing stuff well right now are brands I don't really wear, but I definitely respect what they're doing, starting with like Adidas basketball. You guys mentioned the Harden, the AE, like I see it everywhere, like any age
Yeah.
group, right?
Yeah.
From 4 to 40, somebody's on the court wearing them, and I think that's a big step for Adidas in terms of basketball, like their basketball line. That's a big step for them. And then looking at New Balance, Mike mentioned earlier, is like they're really leaning into, and I don't know if it's the Nike effect or whatever Jordan effect what it is, but New Balance has really been leaning into collabs and
Mm-hmm.
culturally
Big time.
relevant collabs, and it's not just like rappers or artists, it's like people like creators, it's, you know what I mean, whether it's designers, it's people who like have direct impact with the culture to some extent. And what was my last one? Like challenger brands, like non-traditional, like not ball shoes, but like Hoka and On. And I think we spoke about this on the last one, Thomas and Lina, when we were on together. um I can't escape, like anywhere I go, with the supermarket, work,
Yeah, Hokas.
the ball game, like Hoka and On, you're seeing this
Yeah.
emergence of like these new challenger. Like we were in a period from like, just think 10, 15 years ago where it was just, you would just see the big brands. Like we know the big
Yeah.
2, 3 brands,
Yeah.
whatever, right? But now it's like there's Hoka and On stores everywhere. Everyone, and they're not cheap. It's $200-$300 a pop, right? And we're seeing men, women, kids,
Yep.
everybody wearing them. It's because like the focus almost has shifted a little bit from not just fashionable, or I'm just gonna wear these out casually. It's like, no, I want these shoes to function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally
Yep.
agree.
Well said, man.
You had the perfect answer, Philly. I mean, I was just gonna say the same thing. For me personally, it's like the sneaker, uh, the sneaker kind of journey for me. It was always Jordan, a little bit of Nike, but primarily Jordan. And the only Adidas I ever wore was a Superstar. I wouldn't really touch anything else. Now, as I get older, I don't know if it's a combination of like emergence of new brands. As a couple of years ago, Nike had a moment where it allowed other brands to come and really kind of take over in certain ways. Swoosh will always be on top, but there was the gap kind of opened up a little bit, and then you saw the emergence of these brands, which you may have never seen. For me personally, like, and I could be wrong, you guys, we all lived different kind of upbringings in terms of what we saw and thought was cool, but New Balance and Asics was never cool in a conversation amongst me and my friends growing up, ever. You would never be, maybe
Yep.
some of the Ronnie stuff, the gel lights, like some of that, cool, like maybe, but for the most part, at least for me, would never be wearing that. Now, I wore New Balance today. I wear the Asics Gel Cano 14, super comfortable. Why am I wearing it now? One, yes, trend, but two, like I'm closer to 40 than 30, and these Jordans, they're not comfortable. Like a
No.
lot of them are not comfortable. I could wear them in my 20s because I was like, yeah, they aren't that comfortable, but they look fly and it's completely fine. I'm gonna wear them. Now there's some shoes, like I put them on, like, no, this is not happening today. Or if I know I'm walking for a while, I'm not gonna be putting on my Jordan 5s or something, or whatever, insert whatever, it's
Yep.
for retro.
Yes.
If I'm going 8
I'm more
hours
about
walk.
Jordan ones I can't wear at all.
Right. There
They
you
are
go.
hurt my feet, boy.
There you go. So I opened my mind to trying a brand which the child in me or the teenager in me or the high school kid in me would be like, never wear that. Do not wear that. That's like, you're gonna clown. Like, that's horrible. You know, that's a corny shoe or whatever, corny brand. And now I'm like, I'm eating my words because I'm wearing them, and they kind of look fly. Like a few of them with the right fit, like you can get it up. Like it looks good, right? So but I might look back on this in 5 years and be like, yeah, I can't believe I wore Asics, but. But I'm
Wow.
wearing them. I'm wearing them. Put me on tape. Make sure
That's
the
how
episode's
that's how I feel about Jordan 3s, man. That's why I wear Jordan 3s, because they're comfortable, bro. And Jordan 3s are
Yep.
They are
comfortable.
comfortable. I like Jordan 3s. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jordan 3s
man.
are.
Yep.
Because I'm about comfort too. I'm the same. I'm older. I'm like 41 now, so I can't be wearing like Jordan 1s and walking like long distances and my feet. No. I don't know how Jordan even played in those.
Jordan 12 is the most comfortable Jordan of all time, in my personal opinion. Everyone has different size feet, or shaped feet. But for me, the 12, the 13, and the 14, I can wear those three like all the time. For me, I love those. But anyway,
I
Lionel.
would tell you the most comfortable one to wear, like for elongated period of time, is the Jordan 10.
Okay.
Mm.
I only have one pair of those.
I have
Again,
one pair
it's
of the
it's
Shadows.
just the fit of
Chicago's.
my
Yeah.
foot.
Yes.
It's flat, and
That's it. Okay.
so yeah, no, I think a lot of great points there. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a sports analogy. It is incredibly hard to get momentum. So like Nike, and I use Nike as the example, incredibly hard to get momentum. And it took them a long time to get it. But once you get it, you never want to let it go. And unfortunately, Nike made some moves in 2019 and 2020, 2021, and 2022 where they made room, not on purpose, for other brands. And guess what? It has changed the momentum. I sent you guys an Instagram post how
Yeah, I
much
saw that.
stock,
Yep.
how much sales Nike has lost in their third quarter earnings. It is catastrophic.
It is a lot.
That the number one sneaker brand that literally has half of the market, and used to have at one point like 70% of the market, is in double-digit decline. And I'm not here to talk bad about Nike, but the analogy is they had momentum, they decided for various reasons to let it go, and now it feels like it's almost impossible for them to get it back
Yeah,
because
they plateaued. I just saw
so
they
many
plateaued.
other brands have now taken space in the sneaker climate, and we do not see New Balance slowing down because people are using it for various reasons.
Hoka.
The growth
Hoka's
of
not going no.
Hoka and On, we don't see that slowing down. Adidas continues to wind the wheel and find things that work in certain climates. They're better now at basketball than they ever have been. They're now better at certain other elements. They're casual and fashion parts of their business. They have pulled that out of the soccer window and now put this in full stream in the marketplace. Nike has created their own problem. And I think I said it on the last episode when we had the group together. I think Karen, you weren't here, and we had my friend Dre on. The reality is Nike now truly needs to lean into their archives, but they also need to balance this or have at least a harmony, because I hate the word balance. Harmony works better because you can work in conjunction. They need to have a harmony with innovation. And that is the problem that they are having.
I
They
agree.
believe that they can lean into the DN8. That ain't it. That ain't it. That is not going to be what is going to take them to the promised land. So without any innovation, they are truly going to be stuck and fighting for every single dollar that they will be literally fighting for the rest of the year. That's the reality of where they are right now.
They have the deepest archive than any other brand. Like if you look back on all their stuff, the basketball, the running, the tennis, you know what I mean? They had every star. Like, you're right, but you can't. Now you're talking to a whole new customer. It's not us shopping necessarily anymore. It's the new kid New
Yep.
kid know who Andre Agassi is or any of those guys? Like, probably
Yeah, they
not.
don't, and most kids don't even care about Michael Jordan.
They
They don't
don't
care about
care.
most
Right.
of the Jordans that come
They
out
don't know
unless
who
they're
Michael. They
fly.
don't care.
So that's not
Yes.
even really gonna, like, old heads like
That's
us. We
relevant.
care about, like, let's say, the history of Jordan. Like, if we watch Michael
Yep.
Jordan play back in the day, these like 14-year-olds, they don't give a shit about Michael
Yep.
Jordan. They're like, okay, I just want to wear his Jordan 4 because I heard they're dope. You know what I'm saying? Then yeah, to your point, I agree. I think the innovation has to be there because I feel like they plateaued because I feel like they were so big and they didn't feel like they had to innovate. Like, even for myself, I'm considering getting a pair of Hokas, to be honest with you, because everybody tells me, yo, they're dope and they're comfortable as hell, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I might pull the trigger and buy a pair this year because, and I would, and to
Got a free
Thomas's
pair.
point, if you were to
Very
ask me this 3
comfortable.
years ago, there is no way you'd catch me even wearing a pair of Hokas, but now I would, I absolutely would.
Yeah.
I put on the pair that I got for free, took a picture. A friend immediately said, "Take those off."
Man, I wear them to the gym, bro. I
Like
don't care.
literally, I posted it on a story for last summer. It was the story
Mm.
wasn't up for 3 minutes, and he said, "Take them off." So yeah, some people are just will never get their heads around on Hoka, but that's why there's just sneaker choices. Like for someone that wants to be in sneakers in whatever capacity they want to be,
You
they don't
can, yeah.
necessarily just say, "Hey." Like there was a world 4 years ago that if you didn't buy Nike or Jordan, what were you doing?
You were lame.
You were
Yeah.
just lost. You
Yeah.
only could buy Nike or Jordan. You probably had to have a pair of Panda Dunks, and then whatever retro you could get your hands on. That
Done.
was 2020, 2021. Where we are today is a
That's different.
totally different space. And for the
Mhm.
next several years, I don't know if it will really change.
No, I think it will expand. I think if the other brands
Yeah.
come out and they hit and people like gravitate towards it, I think it's going to just grow. And I think that's a good thing. I think variety is good. It
Yep.
doesn't have to just be Jordan. I think wear what you like, and if people gravitate to something that they like and they want to wear, then that's all that should matter anyway.
Yep.
Exactly.
I have one interesting thing. I totally for us we love this, but I see this as like I don't know if desperation that's a little harsh of a word, but like Wu-Tang Dunks. Okay, for those that come out, couldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
Undefeated Force, the PlayStation Air Force One. I forgot those are coming out. Can you believe that?
Mm,
That's
All of
crazy.
these, but that only means something to us, right?
that
Us in the
does.
room here.
It does.
Yeah.
Does the new kid care about the Wu Tang Dunks or the
No,
PlayStation Air Force One?
they don't know who Wu
Dustin,
Tang. They
95.
probably don't even know who Wu Tang
yeah,
is, and if they
yeah,
do, they only know Method Man.
Galaxy Foam, Galaxy and Foam Posits. That's another
They
one. I
they probably
guess,
couldn't name 5 members of Wu Tang.
yeah,
If you ask
like
them,
all
Five,
that stuff.
you
two.
put a gun to a 14-year-old kid's head and ask him to name 5 members of Wu Tang, I guarantee you they ain't gonna name them. They might name 3
Right.
at most.
So I don't know. Even the Galaxy Foam Posit release, I was like, that's so cool. But then I'm like, but like I'm almost 40 now and I'm wearing Galaxy Foam Posits. Like the 20-year-old me was like, that's fly. Like, and I'll still probably wear it, but then I'll be 60 again, and then I get older. Our group gets older, and it becomes less and less like, yeah, this is totally like part of our era way back. But the new kid looks at it as like, I wasn't there for the 2012 really or whatever those first
Yeah.
came. I wasn't there for that. So the next retro doesn't matter, and then one after that doesn't really matter either. And you got to like retell the story. And like you guys said, like AE1s, like Anthony Edwards is our Jordan in a way for some of those kids growing up.
Yeah.
So they could look at that and be like, oh, that's an AE1. Like that's Anthony Edwards. You know, I don't know who Michael Jordan is, so I'm gonna wear this shoe.
Yeah, it's to a point. I think, Lionel, I remember we talked about this in our pod when I said like people that don't know their history of sneakers, like they'll say that their first reference of sneakers is like the South Beach LeBron eights. That's like the first shoe that they saw, and that was like, oh my god, that changed my life forever. And to your point, Thomas, I think the story you have to still have to tell those stories, right? And I think as long as you're still telling those stories, and I think as long as old heads are still into
Yeah.
sneakers, I still think the old retro Jordans are still gonna be a thing. I think that's still gonna be a thing as long as old, like younger generation, are gonna follow that, right? I think the difference now is there's so much more brands coming out. There's so much more variety. There's so much more choice now that I think with Jordan Brand, I think Jordan Brand's still going to survive. I don't think Jordan Brand's going nowhere. I still think people are going to buy Jordans. I think most people want Jordans. It ebbs and flows. It's going to ebbs and flows because again, no one was checking for the black metallic fives 9 years ago. People weren't like, oh my god, I got to get them.
Yeah,
Now all of a sudden, people are sitting there fighting in stores over them. So
that's true.
It all depends. It all it all changes and varies when it comes to releases. Like who knows? Like let's say in 5 years when they re-retro, let's say I don't know. Looking at my collection right now, see what they re-retro. Let's say they re-retro let's say the Fire Red 4s. All of a sudden, everybody's gonna go crazy off of those. Meanwhile, no one's really checking for those like that.
So
I remember the Cool Gray 4 sat on shelves in 2019. I could have bought them then. I didn't even buy them.
So
Now you put out the Cool Gray 4s now, people are gonna be fighting over those too.
Mind. So two things I want you to ponder right now. Number one, will today's kid value the AE1 as an example 10 years from now? Will they go, wow, that's the AE1. I need to have another pair because I had it 10 years ago?
Maybe. Only I'll say this.
I say
part
no.
of the allure, yeah. I think part of the allure of Jordans was that Jordan balled out in Jordans, right? Like part of the allure of like the black cement 4, the Bread 4 is the shot that he made over Credit Elo. The flu game is because of him being the stomach flu, whatever. That part, those stories, right? If AE wins a championship or wears them and he balls out, then maybe. But to your point, Lionel, I agree. Maybe in 10 years.
I'll use Curry as the example. Like people are putting Curry on their Mount Rushmore, and they've read Curry 1s and Curry 2s and made championship packs, and people haven't lost their mind over that. So why are they going to lose their mind over the Anthony? The thing is, and my point would be, this era was always captivated by Nike stories, and I do not believe today's kid will pay attention long enough to be captured by Nike. Hey, Nike's telling some great stories, whether it's Asia Wilson having her own shoe, Sabrina Ionescu having her own shoe, Caitlin Clark is going to have her own shoe that the King is coming out June 30th. They just ran a new Juju ad, Juju Watkins, and again, she just tore her ACL.
Yeah, it sucks. I saw that game.
She's out of the NCAA tournament. UNC had a great chance to win, but like it was a little girl that dressed exactly like her. She's probably 7 years old. She's in the car with her parents, and she's got the high bun like Juju does, wearing a number 12
USC jersey.
USC jersey. She goes to the park, and she, instead of saying shot Jordan by Juju, so instead of shot by Kobe or shot by Jordan, I would say shot by Melo. She would say shot by Juju. And Juju this, good. Juju this, good. And it was so amazing to see that they created a story for all of these young black girls, all girls for that matter, that could aspire to be like Juju Watkins, which is arguably the best player in college basketball until she blew her knee. But Nike has been the best at storytelling, and yes, they've now changed presidents in the last 6 months. So maybe there's this resurgence of storytelling will happen. The concern that I have is how today's youth consume anything. If the story doesn't happen in 15 seconds, you've lost them.
Yeah.
So you gotta capture their attention.
The fact that we have AE and Steph Curry, like literally doing things like he saved the Olympic team last summer. Like without Steph, they don't win. So there's so many things they could tell the story about, but these stories are not being told. Like we're not.
But you also
diving deep enough
the shoe,
them. So,
but the shoe also has to look good. I don't care what story you tell.
That's part of the equation.
If the shoe, if I'm looking at like Curry shoes, honestly, a lot of them they look like dog shit, bro. Like I'm not trying to hit on Curry. I love Steph Curry, but like a lot of his shoes look like big old like astronaut boots. Like I'm not wearing those shoes. Like they're just big, clunky. They look like Timberlands. It's like I'm wearing Timbs. Like, and that's the thing. I think you got to be able to get get a shoe that's and I think now like Kobe's and stuff are more minimalistic. I think that's how you got to get these kids' attention now. Because if you're just gonna put out some funky, like even LeBron, you look at LeBron's weird shoes like 4 or 5 years ago, like the hard hat shoe that looked ridiculous and stupid. That part now he's gone straight. Oh, I'm just gonna do low cut Kobe's now because all of his shoes the past 4 lines they all look like Kobe's.
Yeah, and you can see that is the model now for many of Nike's basketball shoes. It was taboo.
They all look the same.
It was taboo to make a low cut basketball shoe. Now we have Jaws. Now we have Lukas. Now
Devin
we have
Booker.
Zion's. Now we have, like, just go down the list.
They
Everyone
all
except for maybe Tatum's shoe is a low cut shoe right now.
no
That is
Tatum's
the
is
most.
low cut too.
Yeah.
Tatum's is low cut.
Nah,
And it looks like dog shit. His look
5/8.
awful too. All of them look awful. They look like shit. I'm not wearing Tatum's. Listen, if
No.
somebody puts a pair of
No.
Jason Tatum's on, I'm gonna laugh at them for real.
Tatum
those I'll
one
laugh
was
at.
look good. Horrible ball shoe after one wear.
Yeah,
So
I
the
agree.
last topic we have before we wrap up, in the Instagram chat that I sent you guys, it was a very, very early look at 2026. And I know, we are only one quarter into 2025. So how the hell are you looking at 2026?
Oh, Lord
But as you
Jesus.
scroll through, what are your initial thoughts about what they at least have penciled to come in?
I'm not getting none of these.
It's
I mean,
busy.
the reverse infrared 6, I don't want that. Like, I
Yeah,
don't want no reverse. I want the original infrared 6. If they were putting those out, I might get another pair, but I don't want no infrared on the Nike. Nah, I want that.
horrible.
I
Trash.
think
Remember.
the only pair that I saw that was slightly interesting or piqued my interest was the
The
red
3?
fours.
Which
The
one? The
Sierra?
Flight Club's one?
The fours or were they? I thought it was a 4. The red one.
Sierra Red Women's Jordan
Yeah,
4.
that one. Yeah,
That might be
that
the
one.
Yeah,
best
they have
one.
a Flight Club Jordan 4. I'm not wearing that. That looks
No.
like a damn bootleg Fire Red 4. Come on, Jordan Brand, do better, bro.
Said that was the
Yeah.
only one that piqued my interest. Other than
No, that
that,
one
I was
actually
like,
looks dope. I mean,
eh.
if it was a men's pair, I would wear it, but it's for women, so I can't buy it.
So, like, sometimes they leak things, and I don't know if they just
And it
leak it
doesn't.
just to get reaction. And I haven't
Yeah.
asked it. I haven't looked to see if they've got actually destroyed in the
Lionel,
comments.
do you like any of these releases? Like, be real. Do you
So
like?
let me tell
oh
you.
my
Let
god,
me
I
tell
gotta
you.
get the bin.
There is
the bin
only
6s.
one that even has my remote interest, because I looked at some of these, did not buy it for a reason. Did not buy it for a reason. No. But I will when I get to page 3, True Red 13. So I will tell
Already
you
have
the
those.
story of why I
Those
may
cherries?
have to buy the True
Yeah,
Red
the cherries.
13.
I got mine already.
So
Yeah, I got those cherries.
that was the very first colorway of the Jordan 13 that I ever bought in 1998 in a silver
Yeah,
box.
98. I remember. Yep.
I wore the second wear I ever had the shoe. My manager asked me to move a clearance table with another team member. We moved the clearance table from point A to point B, and the team member stumbled and dropped the table. Hence, the table went too close to my shoe and scraped the left toe box. I can never unsee it ever again. I've had this shoe
This is
scraped
hilarious.
for literally 27 years. So I may need to buy another one. I've never bought it again since, because it's like, no, it's not that bad. It's not that. And I look at it, it's like, it's bad.
Nah, it's bad. Nah, you got it. I got
It's
mine in
bad.
2017.
So that may be the only shoe. But when I look at this list is garbage. It is awful. They better have a whole new lineup. I think all of us need to write in the comments, this is really bad. Because
Listen,
I think they'll change the lineup because we write that it's really bad.
I don't even like Flight Club like that. If they put out the Flight Club shoe, I'm out. Like, y'all can kiss my ass with that. I'm not wearing that. But no, to be real with you, Lionel, like the True Red 13, that is my least favorite Jordan 13. It's my least favorite, actually.
Oh, wow.
It's my least favorite.
Well, can I tell you a
full
story,
form.
though?
Yeah, go ahead.
One more story, because I like to tell stories. So that shoe, I bought that one. If I go back in my Jordan history, the first Jordan I ever bought, playoff Jordan 11. Second Jordan I ever bought, playoff Jordan 12. I decided I was only going to buy the playoff one. So before the playoff 13 came, this came along. Now, I already had skipped the He Got Game one. It was a bold move. It's like, that is fire.
Bold.
Everyone knows that might be the best one. I skipped it. I was trying to stay in my lane. Only going to buy the playoff. See this red one? Woo! Had to have it. Bought it, ruined it on the second wear. Playoff one comes. Buy the playoff one. All of a sudden, then I realize that the playoff one comes. I buy the playoff one. So it's like, I'm good. Then someone in the store or some customer returned the He Got Game one that I had. And sure enough, it's my size. It was half price. I bought that one too. And then the one that I hated was the Flint. Someone returned that one. That was always half price.
Wow.
I was done. It started my
I mean, it's black. The fact
obsession.
that you said that you hate the
I got
Flint 13.
I got 4 pairs for the price of 3.
That's fire.
Because people return the shoe, and now at that point, the 13 is why for literally 9 or 10 years I tried to buy every single color, all because of that shoe. So that shoe.
Wait,
has
you don't like the Flint? You said the Flints
value.
were your least favorite? You said that for real?
What?
You don't like the Flints?
No, don't like
it.
Have
what?
it. Don't like it.
Wow. Okay, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
That is odd. You can
I'm
end the
a hot kind of
podcast
guy.
there. That's wild. The Flints are like, to Thomas's point, that's one of the best 13s.
I'm not that kind of guy.
I appreciate you guys. I don't know what you guys are like, but for me, I get like it's also why I don't like getting into a new silhouette, because I get this obsession of being like, now I need to get them all. You know what I mean? Now I need to collect. And you guys seem way better than me in terms of like, you're just like, no, this is ugly. I don't need it. I don't care if it's an OG colorway or not. I don't want it. But
no, I've gotten like I said, I got the Cardinal 7s. I didn't like the Cardinal 7s, but I bought it because I'm trying to get all like the OG set of most of it. But like to your point with the 6s, like I don't know if I'm gonna get the the white infrared 6s or the sport blue 6s if they ever come out. I might get them, but I'm not like dying to get them. It just depends on, you know what I'm saying? So like most of the Jordans I have most of the colorways, but not all of them. So
I'm looking at Karen's collection. I'm just like, you have some OG, but you just have stuff you like.
I just have stuff I like. Yeah.
I would love to be like that. Just to be like, I don't care about anything. I just gonna look at the shoe and be like, this is going under retail. I don't care. This is going over.
No, it's a mix of both. It's a mix of both for me. I have a mix of like and then collecting.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Karen, and Michael.
Yeah, Karen's collection's fire.
Yeah, the two of you know how to stay in your lane. That is the thing.
I just, like I said, like Thomas said, I just buy what I like. I don't have this. My foray into the sneaker world is very different from probably all of you. Like I come at it from a point of view of fashion and style. And that's why I can just pass on certain things where I'm like, I'm just going to get what I like because I can wear it this way.
Same. I feel you.
You know. So that's how I amassed.
No, like I bought like I bought like I bought like the Court Purple of 13s because I thought they were fire. Like I have them right here. Hold on, I'll show you. See if I can see. I can see them. Like I bought those ones because I just thought they were dope.
Yep.
Like I didn't buy them for no rhyme or reason. I just bought them because they look fresh. So you know, I think I'm similar to you. Like I buy what I like, and I like for fashion. But I've always been of buying what I like. I don't care about hype and all that other shit that other people care about. Like I just don't care about that. I'm 41.
Good on you,
I don't care.
Some of us are not the same.
I guess sometimes. But also, I buy a lot.
Lionel gets FOMO sometimes. We be seeing the shoes like, oh man, I gotta get it. I didn't want it at first, but I see like 10 people like downtown with it.
Shoes, it changes games. That's what happens.
Oh man.
There's also some shoes where you're just like, this looks so much better, like not on my feet. Like, and I don't look like, oh, I don't wear this color. I don't know how to match this. Like, Karen, I need to start looking at shoes that way. Like,
happy to help.
Like,
anytime, I'm happy to help.
No, I just try.
Very
I've diversified because usually I was a blue guy.
Krista could help you if you let her.
Or black. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Again, thank you for your time, your insights. I think we've had a very healthy conversation. Wow, we're at over an hour and 20 minutes. So, sneaker fun as we've now gone through episode 200 on Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life. Thank you for being on the episode. Everyone, thank you out there for listening, viewing on YouTube. And it's been a lot of fun. People have got a chance to laugh at me. People have got a chance to have some fun tonight. So much appreciated to everyone that is listening, everyone that has been a part of the 200 episodes of Sneaks Rhymes of Life. Thank you very much. We out for tonight. Peace.